May govannen, niblings. Welcome back to the adventures of Hvila through Middle-earth. Hvila has left the Vales of Anduin and made it to Bree-land. And as I mentioned last time, I'm actually not going to stop in Bree-land. I'm going to head on to the Shire. But I did want to make one little stop here in Bree-land to pick up a horse. Now, I already have horses that I get because I bought some of the expansions, and because I've been a long-time supporter of the game, and so they're granted to me automatically. But I wanted to show you these horses because if you're a new player to the game, unless you buy a horse from the LotRO store right away, then almost certainly your first horse will be one of these. And you can buy these horses for in-game money, although you do have to purchase the riding skill unless you're a subscriber. However, you can earn credit for items in the LotRO store where you would get the riding skill pretty easily in the game, and I'll go over that in more detail later. But basically, somewhere between level 10 and level 20, you would accumulate enough LotRO points and enough currency in the game to buy a horse. And your first horse you'll get from Eogar, son of Hadorgar.
Greetings.
Well, that is not the menu I was looking for. This one, yes.
How may I help you?
And the very first horse that you can likely get is this one, and I think with this one you don't even need to have bought the riding skill from the LotRO store to use. So and then these others, well, this one is the first one you get, and it's slower. Here it's showing the max speed there on the tooltip. Let me set this. See, I, being a long-time supporter of the game, I have a an item from the store that makes all of my mounts go at maximum speed for
How may I help
it's possible
you?
for mounts. And then when I clicked this, that turned off that boost. So yeah, now it's showing correctly. See, this is the cheapest and slowest horse in the game. It gives you a brief boost, or I mean, a small boost rather, of 32% over your normal walking speed. And then these other horses give you a 62% boost. So that's a pretty big difference between these, as you can see. And like I said, these others require the riding skill, which you have to buy in the LotRO store, and this one does not. So I'll go ahead and buy this one, just to show you that first horse that you would normally get as a new player to this game. Alright, and so I opened my inventory to activate it, but it's already moved into my mount skill. So here it is right here, the starter horse. And you can get this horse as early as level 5, as long as you have the money for it. It's unlikely you'd have the money for it at level 5, unless you had a friend to give you money, or you got it some other way. So I'll just ride around a bit, and if you'll notice, this is as fast as this horse goes, which is not much faster than walking speed. And as you progress in the game, you can get faster horses. Now let me turn off this skill here, and so now I am boosted back up to the maximum speed for horses. So as you progress in the game, you can get horses that go up to this speed, or you can either buy the skill in the store or accumulate enough credit to buy the same skill that I bought from the store. So I just wanted to show you kind of what that would be like. And this is a little race course here that you can get used to riding on if you want. If you're a subscriber, you actually get a quest to do this racing course. and then you don't have to buy the riding skill in the store. So, let me zoom in here, give you a good look at the horse. Yeah, actually on the course. Oop, a little bit of lag there. So, and I really like this horse. It's a really pretty horse. It's just the darker coloration of the hair and the of the mane and the tail compared to the rest of the body reminds me a little bit of Arabians, although this is not an Arabian. I don't actually know what kind of horse this is. Maybe some of my horse experts who are watching can chime in. So like I said, if you were starting the game for the first time and you hadn't bought anything from the store yet, then you would likely be able to get this horse sometime before level 10, between level 5 and level 10. And then you would be able to upgrade to one of these other horses here sometime between level 10 and level 20. And these horses are about as fast as the fastest horses in the game, excluding war steeds, which we won't encounter until much, much later in the game. So from here, I'm going to travel on to the Shire and get started with our first quests. There's another player that just walked by. I believe that's the first time we've seen another player in the game. So yeah, I'll head over to the Shire, and we'll get started with quests in the Shire. Alright, here I am in the Shire. This is the part of the Shire where hobbits are usually dropped off once they finish their tutorial. So this is where I'll be starting, like I said earlier, because the Shire is one of the most iconic parts of Middle-earth. And so I just thought it would be a little more interesting to show the Shire in this Let's Play series rather than Bree-land. So let's take a look around. Also worth mentioning, I've been bumped up to level 5 since I finished the tutorial. That wasn't anything that I did, that was just upon finishing the tutorial, the game bumped me up to level 5. I think some of the other tutorials are a little longer and can actually get you to level 5 just by killing the monsters in the tutorial, but the Beorning tutorial is a bit shorter. Also, just like we were over in at the Hengstacer Farms in Bree-land, this is now the open world where most of the other players are. So we will bump into other players now and then. But for the most part, especially for these videos, I will be playing alone. So, here we are in a little delving. Oh, there's another player right there, just one level over me. I'm seeing a number of hobbits here, each with rings over their heads, which means that they have quests available. Also, I see a milestone here. Now, a lot of other MMOs have a mechanic similar to a milestone. Basically what this is I can right-click on this, I can say bind, and I want to set this location for my return home skill. And now you can see this icon here has changed. If I click on this icon, it will teleport me back here. It's just a little neat little skill that makes life a little bit easier in a game like Lord of the Rings Online. Even though there is no teleportation in Lord of the Rings itself, it's just a concession to making a game a little bit easier and a little less of a hassle. It's especially useful if I end up far away and I'm lost, or I get stuck somewhere. So, let's talk to some of these NPCs and get some quests.
Please, stay a moment.
So, like I said in the tutorial, I'm not going to read all of the text on these quests. The writers of this game are quite verbose, kind of sticking in the spirit of the novels. So, if you would like to read the text on any of the quests, I will leave the quest window open for a few seconds. Just pause the video, read the text, and then go ahead and resume the video. So this hobbit is asking me to join the Bounders. And you may remember from the books that the Bounders are the closest thing the Shire has to a police force. They patrol the...
Might I speak with you a moment?
They patrol the edges of the Shire, looking for trouble. So this is Mundo Sackville Baggins, who you may also remember from the books, was trying to, in some way or another, scam Bilbo out of his fortune. And so he is rather upset about something or another, just like all Sackville Bagginses tend to be. So he wants me to take a complaint to the mayor. So I can do that. Let's see, this...
Stay and have some tea.
Alf here wants me to go to the Delving Craft Fair. Now I happen to know that this quest is designed to get me started on crafting. I'm not going to be doing crafting on this character. I will go ahead and accept the quest and just go turn it in, and then I won't do the crafting. Crafting is just not interesting to watch on video, even though it is a useful part of the game. I have other characters that I can do crafting with if I need to. But for this character, I'm just going to skip it. And this character, I believe that's all the quests here.
Might I have a word with you?
So, this character is a postman, and he wants me to basically help out with the post service. And there's a bunch of these quests in the Shire. So, he wants me to take a post satchel and take it to another post office. So, since all of the other quests I took require me to leave Little Delving anyway, I'll go ahead and do this. Now, as soon as I pick it up, it's kind of timed. So see, now I'm carrying the satchel, and there's this progress bar here, and if it runs out, the quest fails, and I can come back and start it over again if that happens. But probably won't need to. Now, I have to avoid nosy hobbits, because they will pester me and ask me to go ahead and deliver their mail to them. So if I see any nosy hobbits, I can't get too close, or they will cancel the quest. So here we are in the picturesque Shire. Running water everywhere, rolling hills, pastoral scenes. Working my way to Nickel Delving. So there's a bounder. Just a cow, just wandering the roads of the Shire. Not a particularly strange sight in this Shire. More cows just wandering. Well, their models are on top of each other. They're not actually conjoined cows. I see a quest ring over here. Oh, I'm walking on someone's roof. But I can't interact with him while I'm doing this, and that's not a quest that I care about at the moment anyway. The postman's around here somewhere. There he is. So I'll walk up to him, and that completes that quest, and I gained a level. So I gained my first new ability here, and it appears to be a heal ability, so that's really nice. Not all characters are able to heal, but Beornings can, and it's quite useful to be able to heal, especially if you can heal yourself. And Beornings can heal themselves and others. So, and these are just more tutorial things, saying I have traits available, which I will go into in a different video. And this is going over cosmetic outfits, which I already showed in the second video of this series. And this is going over mounts, which I showed at the beginning of this video. And then this is talking about maps, which I also showed, I believe, in the second video. Now, another thing that has happened here, so it's saying I need to pick a specialization, which I'll do in the next video. I received my first deed here. Deeds are achievements, essentially. You've probably encountered achievements in other games. But deeds are the primary way which you gain credit to the LotRO store for free. So you don't have to spend money to buy things from the LotRO store, like the writing skill. You can earn enough points to buy some things. And you won't be able to buy a whole lot if you're just earning your points in the game, but you will eventually be able to buy a few things. The writing skill, I believe, only costs 95 LotRO points. So that's just, you know, a dozen or so deeds before you have that many. Deeds grant different amounts of points. So this deed wants me to complete quests within the Shire. If I do 15 quests, I will get 10 LotRO points and a trait and some reputation. And then this deed wants me to do all of the quick post quests, which will take some time, but I will do them. Let's finish off some of these other quests.
Good day.
So here I'm delivering the letter from Mundo Sackville Baggins. And the mayor is not happy about getting a complaint.
Good day. Might I have a word with you?
So, he wants me to go deliver the bad news to Lobelia Sackville Baggins that he is not going to help them. And then here I can turn in the quest to join the Bounders.
Just a moment.
So he's saying, well, I'm a big folk, but I can join the Bounders anyway in these strange times. So I do so. He gave me a fancy hat. The one I'm wearing is better, mechanically, partly because it's light armor and the one I'm wearing is medium armor. However, this is a very fancy hat with a peacock feather in it. So I'm going to save it. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to open my vault, and I happen to be right here beside the vault keeper.
A lovely day, isn't it?
Your vault is like a bank, or kind of like a chest in Minecraft that only you can access. And you can put things in there when you don't need them. So I'm going to take this hat, and I'm going to put it down here in the vault, and save it for later. So I may equip it cosmetically at some point in the future. That's why I'm saving it, because it's a unique cosmetic item. Also here, this is my inventory. Now I have purchased a lot of inventory upgrades in the LotRO store, so I have a lot of inventory space. I think free players would normally stop at this line here, and that would be kind of the maximum of their inventory space. Now I can open this gift box because I gained a level. And this is just giving me some useful little tokens that I can use. So here's a food. I'll put that on my bar here. I'll move that down here. That's a food item. It gives me regeneration. And these others are things that I'm not really going to need anytime soon. Check this out. This guy's got one of the new mounts from the seasonal festival that's going on. And I'll talk about those sometime later. Well, I think that will bring this episode to a close. But join me back for the next episode of Villa's Adventures in Middle-earth. And we'll continue doing quests in the Shire and see what's going on in this normally peaceful land, and why they're accepting the help of big folk like me when they'd usually be suspicious. Until next time, Niblings.